Oh, the best Losers Lounge ever.
Oh, man, I can't wait. What is up, everybody, and welcome into a Losers Lounge.
Bones looked good.
Shake that off. It's not
It'll be
a
fun.
preseason lounge, guys. There's no winners and losers. Honestly, the winner is us because it did not go to overtime. Also, the winner is that that was a wildly entertaining preseason game. I am very hyped. I'm very pumped up to share it all with you. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Ignore Dev. He's off his game this year. He bet an over on a preseason game number 1.
First bet of the year.
You guys took me out of my element. You know, I'm a gamer. That wasn't a game.
That's
a good point.
So it makes it a real tough.
You're like Zeke Najee at Summer League.
But that should have went over. If you look at it, a lot of things should have went their way.
If I squint.
Yeah, and then it was awkward. It was weird. I don't know what to tell you. I apologize. You shouldn't have bet on preseason.
I tried to warn you up front, to be honest.
I'm also joined over here by my man Vogt.
Feels like a winner's lounge.
It does feel like a winner's lounge.
We identified some stuff to watch for. Those things looked good while watching.
Those things looked incredible, man. This was a fun one. I mean, look, I love basketball.
Nice.
I really love basketball. I love watching the Nuggets. We've been a while without it, and it was a much-needed break. But tonight, getting to watch the team together again, it's just like it felt good, man. It felt good. And getting to see Michael Porter, getting to see Bones Hyland, getting to see even Bol Bol. Even Bol Bol impressed me tonight. We're going to talk about him. It just was great. So everybody, give us your comments, give us your feedback in the chat. We want to hear what you guys are thinking.
So good to be back.
But I'm going to start asking you, Dev. Where do you want to start? What is the standout to you? I just mentioned to me at least two of the big standouts. What was your big standout from this one?
I thought that it was just going to be a game that I didn't care much about. Like, I thought it was just going to be fun. I didn't think there would be, like, real storylines that I wanted to pay attention to. Nice. And I really did pay attention to, like, the point guard battle. I didn't think that, like, much of it going into the game because it seemed so solidified. And it's still the preseason, but Bones Hyland, like, he's fun and he's productive, and he seems like he should be on the team and actually playing. And I really didn't think much of it going into the game. I was just like, maybe he plays in the G League this year. Maybe he doesn't. We'll see.
Are you with me? You're elevating. I said I was a 2 out of 10 chance that he plays. And then on this very pregame show, I said I'm up to a 6. Where are you at?
I'm at about an 8.
Whoa!
I'm at about
Deb, I was not expecting
when
that.
he laughed at me at the pregame show?
Yeah,
it took one preseason. You're back on. Yeah.
I said that's just a huge thing. Like,
he can play.
He can play, and he really looks like he belongs. And that's just I think that's what the difference is, because the Nuggets, like, point guards right now, they're still trying to find out, like, what they are, who they are, and they're going to need to score the basketball. And he can do that.
Right.
And he also can pass the ball and set guys up. So I didn't think that I was going to be so into, can he actually play? And I seen tonight that he can actually play.
It's funny you brought up passing the ball. I thought his first few possessions, he forced it as a playmaker.
Some bad passes early on.
Then, like, the fourth time he takes it to the rack, he goes, oh, that's right, I'm Bones. And he just goes, he tries to score, and from there falls into things, looks a little more natural for him. Again, I mean, you scale this up from Summer League, right? It's that much more competitive. This is a guy who's looking ahead of the curve just in terms of comfort on the court, right? He could have looked like those first few possessions. He could have looked that way all night, and we would have said, hey, it's his first action. Give him a break. But again, he's looked more comfortable than expected. And you combine that with everything you hear from players to coaches to front office, sounds like the Nuggets got another player.
I mean, this is like, how many years in a row do you say, like, how did this guy fall to, what was it, 26 this year?
Yeah.
And you look at him and you're just like, there are not 26 guys. I know this is early. I'm going to pump the brakes on some of the hype, but there's not 26 guys that just have a better feel, a better shot, a better just ability to score. And that's what stands out to me tonight is, look, this is a preseason game. It doesn't mount for that much. And the quality of talent that was on the court for the Clippers tonight was pretty low, as it was for Denver, when you think about the guys that were missing. But he did things tonight that you're like, yeah, he belongs out on the court there. He can get to his shot. His handle was as advertised. Like, he had a couple just like nice moves where
he's
you're like,
quick, huh? He is quick.
So here's what I would say about him. We talked about in the preseason or in the Summer League game, there was that one game where everybody kind of looked to him, and it was like, okay, that's a unique thing. You don't always see that. Tonight, what I saw was Luke Kennard, who's been in the league for a while, and Bones Hyland being like, "Oh my God, this guy is like scrub.
It's
Who is
Luke?
this dude?" Yeah,
It's Luke
every
Kennard?
time he would get him, it was like, "This is my chance."
Like to see a young player and a rookie feel like he has a mismatch, in the NBA,
yeah.
like in his first chance of seeing guys. Like you see that early on, and he catches on. He's gonna start studying like guys
Right.
and how to actually beat them and get to his spots. So like this is just all like instinct that he's going off of right now. He hasn't even picked up like guys' tendencies or anything like that.
True.
So for him to get out there and just score at will and to just belong, like he let the whole team in minutes today because Malone he's excited to have him out there. He's excited to just see him play. And we talked about it before the game. Like, do we think he's going to play a lot? How many minutes do we expect? He leads the Nuggets in minutes. He shoots the ball with confidence. He's not just selfish with the ball at that. Like he looks comfortable.
And I actually thought for a lot of that fourth quarter, that last play an exception. We'll get to it. But you talked about wanting to see. Now, it wasn't the starters or anything, but do they look to Bones? Kind of felt that way.
Yeah.
Kind of felt that way in those final minutes. Now, that last possession was something different. But yeah, I mean, he's just kind of got that draw to him, doesn't he?
He's got it, man. I mean, he's just got a lot of that. And look, again, here's what I would say. I don't know what Michael Malone's plan was with Bones Hyland in this preseason. I don't know if he was like, okay, there's so many guys were out tonight. Bol Bol even played a lot of minutes tonight. So I don't know. I'm now curious if on Wednesday we do get Will Barton back. We do get Nikola Jokic into the lineup. I'm curious, like, is Bones playing 0 minutes? Is he playing 7 minutes? Is he playing 20? Is he playing 30 again? I'm curious because I want to see it. He's just got so much talent and so much promise. And this is what we've enjoyed. The people that are watching, this show, this is the diehards. We're preseason. And it is 11:20 in Denver time. The 300 diehards right now. Here's
Love
what
you,
the
people.
people in the chat right now have experienced every year, and I hope you don't take it for granted. Excitement for the future. Like that, we are in the present, right? The Nuggets have a chance to win the championship now, but it's just so cool that you get a new player in the pipeline that you're like, man, this guy could be just about anything. He's got that kind of talent.
And we've talked about how they've managed to sort of like rebuild and contend at the same time at
Right.
times. But for the last three sort of steps of the way, they've also had that kind of card up their sleeve,
Right.
whether it be Bol or Bones, or for briefly it was Porter. Now he's a part of the core. But you're right. The Nuggets fans have had so many different things to latch on to at once. And Bones kind of fits the bill right in line with RJ Hampton last year of, okay, there's what's in front of us now, and that's exciting. But I'm even excited for what might be next, if not now.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Bones living up to the hype. What's funny? It's not just Nuggets fans or analysts. I mean, I think everybody's kind of starting to be like, hey, Bones, this guy's kind of good. He's got some shake to him.
I don't know if you guys saw. I certainly saw on Twitter all the media members in L.A. Bones was shushing the crowd after that technical free throw, and it was catching some eyes. He's not afraid of the moment.
He's got a flair for the dramatic too, which is always fun. Second standout. I'll just go ahead and throw it out. Michael Porter tonight. There was a moment to open this game. It felt like he didn't touch the ball for the first 3 minutes, and we're kind of like, we talked last year about sometimes when he's on the court with Yoke or Murray, it just feels like he's such a low usage player. First 3 minutes of the game, ball doesn't find him. 2.5 minutes after that, he had 16 points. Like, he puts up buckets so quickly and so effortlessly. How do you evaluate his night tonight, Dev?
I mean, we've already seen a quarter.
A quarter,
And it's the first game.
It was the first
It was
quarter,
the first
actually.
quarter.
The first quarter, and that was like with him, like just calm, like
Right.
he's just calm, under control. Nothing is forced. Even if it is forced, it's a good shot because nothing is forced. Like he's a gamer. That's a guy that could come out and just shoot the hell out of the ball, and then you have nothing else that you can do because you can't block his shot. You can't overplay him. And we saw differences with him today. He caught
What differences? Yeah, he did catch
caught the ball
He had a
and
tough
went up
catch.
for an easy finish. He's tried to create off of the dribble. So he had a few dunks that we haven't seen, like
Right.
him creating off the dribble for himself. And that has to be his confidence going up. Like, okay, I can do other things as well as just I can shoot the hell out of the ball whenever I want to, but also these other things open up different parts of my game. He didn't even play a lot, and he gets to 23 points today. So if this is a real game where he's getting his real allotment of minutes, he goes for 35,
Right.
30 points easily.
And I agree with the chat. I mean, hardly the NBA Finals tonight, but I actually thought the handle looked relatively better. I really did. I thought there were a couple of moments where he snuck it through some windows that he usually doesn't, where he fumbles the ball, especially some catches he caught where, he catches it low and you're so used to that getting stripped or he bobbles it. Looked a little bit better tonight. Now, check ourselves. It's just the first game of the preseason, but I thought he looked much more comfortable. I have this thing with Porter. My expectations for him are so high, guys.
Yeah.
Where he walks out of a game like that, and I go, I thought he could have done better. And then you check the stats, and I'm telling you,
more points than minutes.
And how many times in his short career has that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something like that, either the same or more points than minutes, and you just go, and the whole time you're sitting there going, oh, he's still got to figure this out. He's still got to figure that out. And then you just got to stop yourself. You go, is that the difference between greatness, or is that the difference between something beyond? Because where he starts is just how many guys fill it up like that. It's unbelievable.
He puts him up a Porter quarter indeed. And we were watching today on NBA League Pass, by the way. So pro tip at home, we weren't sure whether it was going to be. It was available. We didn't even have to do the illegal stream through Russia or whatever, Belarus. We were able just to watch it on League Pass, which means I can't say for certain, but I think we will have it on Wednesday as well. So at the DNVR Bar, we think we'll be able to watch this one here.
That's a soft pitch.
That's a soft pitch.
Come on down and maybe watch
certain,
with
but
us.
we would love to see you if you do want to come out and watch the game with us. But so that's just a pro tip. You can watch it there. But his handle, there was the move in the open court and the feed that we had on League Pass. I missed it because it looked like he made a great open court move, but I don't know. So that would have been a thing where if I saw it, I'd be like, okay, there's an improved handle. But no, he puts up points. He put them up very, very effortlessly, and I thought he looked fantastic tonight in his limited minutes, and that was without Yoke. The one thing I'll say about Porter that I think gets overlooked, because we talk about handle and move and like what does he have? He's a really good off-ball scorer. Mm-hmm. This is why it's so interesting that he worked out with Steph Curry this year, because a lot of times you think about, okay, he's got to add this because it's one-on-one. In the Nuggets offense, he's going to be alongside Murray and Yoke. That's where the ball's going to be a lot anyway. So the more he can score running around screens and this or that or cuts, the better. And tonight, I can't evaluate the handle that much because I didn't feel like there was that many one-on-one moves.
Sure.
But there was just a lot of like, oh, yeah, you got open off ball really well there and then just drained it because that's what you do. So
I thought that was the most those quotes. Obviously, Harrison Wynn wrote that great piece on the DNVR.com today talking about Steph and MPJ's workouts. But that's the thing that Mike takes away, right? It's not, oh, the shot's so amazing. It's, oh, like I can be doing more as an elite shooter. I don't have to just stand there and space the floor, stay in constant movement. Now, it wasn't, some of that's intuition and it's like a learned thing. There were a couple of times where I saw Porter really try to be active in some possessions and it was like, all right, where are you going? But I still like that instinct. He doesn't have to just stand there and wait for it. He can make himself a threat at all times. And just because a guy might be a little stronger than you, more physical than you, you can still tire them out. I thought we saw some inklings of that tonight, and it's a great path for him to start going down.
I don't think that there's any better person in the world for him to like learn from than Steph Curry. Like, he's an unselfish superstar. And MPJ is like a guy that's just trying to figure it out. And I can't wait till he actually speaks on it. Maybe we see it in the Curious Mike, or if he just actually goes out and talks about it. But I know that there's like conversations around Curry saying you can score the ball by like in easier ways by doing these small things that you already have. Then he's like, you already have the size, you already have the body that I don't have. So like, think about if you add these like type of things. That's the type of people that you need Michael Porter Jr. around, because he's not a selfish player. Like he really isn't. And I think that a lot of times the mindset is that that's what he is. That's like what the idea is. That he is that type of person. So for him to be around Curry, like, and to hear it, like, I think the biggest thing that he takes away from like working out with Curry is confidence. You now have that type of confidence where it's like, okay, I don't have to go out there and just score every single time, but also I can get buckets in easier ways, in different ways. And this is the best shooter of all time, like putting their trust into me and also working out with me. So I think that's like the best thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting with Curry because Porter's good enough that Curry should be able to see Michael Porter coming. Like, sometimes guys will work out with a rookie or a second-year player, and it's like, whatever. But Porter's like a pretty established. not quite established as an all-star, but he's a good enough player that it's
He
interesting.
won MVP at Steph's camp twice.
Yeah,
so
I know they have that relationship.
he's on
of
that
course.
radar already.
Yeah, and I know they have that relationship, but it is just kind of interesting where it's like Steph teaching him tricks that might end up eliminating Steph from the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's just kind of interesting. But like Yoke having DeAndre Ayton over for workouts.
I bet that happens at some point.
Yoke?
I can't see Yoke extending.
No,
I can't see Yoke extending the invite, but Ayton would be my guess of who it goes to.
yeah, Yoke will invite people to the racetrack. He'll invite,
Let's have a beer.
Ayton's gonna be like, I want to know your secret. What do you do in the offseason? Like, I ride my horse.
Right.
I don't know, man. I drink beer. It's fun. Let's get to Aaron Gordon because he was
can't wait.
He was the last guy for me that I feel like there's some other guys we're going to talk about in segment 2, but he's the last one to me that I'm like, yeah, really popped tonight. What we've heard out of camp is that the explosiveness was there, and that's where he looked at the confidence in his shot, whatever, but that he really looks healthy. I didn't fully buy it just because this is the type of thing. Everybody looks healthy coming into camp. You get a couple weeks off, you look healthy. Tonight, he was jumping through people. His athleticism, his spring, his first step. There were so many of those things that just popped tonight. He really, really, really stood out to me just from a health standpoint.
Yeah, this summer, if you like watch all of like the highlights of like the big runs, Aaron Gordon like snuck into those highlights. Like he's in the background or he has a player too. Like this is a guy that I think that this summer was about him remembering who he was. Like I think he comes into the Nuggets organization and they put him in like a defensive guy, and you know, like he's buying into those type of things, which that's a culture guy that you need around. But also, you know, this is a guy that has scored in this league, and he's played with the best of them. So I think this is about making sure that he gets back to that. And we've seen that to start the game out. Although he wasn't like super like scoring like with Will, he was aggressive, and he was like, I can score too. Like I'm one of those guys. So like he comes out in this game and he's trying to score. He's shooting it confidently. He's moving.
I think he had the first 3 shots of the game.
He also gets like that has to be his best highlight with the Nuggets is the dunk on. Like that's what we've been waiting for. That's what everybody's been waiting. I know he's been waiting.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I know that like even though this is preseason, they're going to say that's the Aaron Gordon that we need, because it's not going to be that hard when you're next to Jokic. It's not going to be that hard when Michael Porter Jr. is hot as well, and the defense is not only focusing on you, because that had to be the game plan tonight. You look at their roster, you're like, okay, Aaron Gordon has to be a guy that we're going to be on and stuff like that. But in the regular season, he's not going to have that type of focus. So it's easier baskets. And if your confidence is up, you're going to have a quick 12 points like that.
This is one of those things I think you can take away from a preseason game and feel comfortable projecting. Physically, he just looked much better.
Yep.
And that was my number one thing that I was excited to see coming into this game. We talked about that on the pregame show. That first move, he looked really quick. It wasn't just the dunk, but blowing by guys, which was a very laborious process last year. Like a lumbering utility tight end at times. Now looking a little more like an ultra athlete. That's really, really exciting. The three, like that first 3 of the game was smooth. I still think every time this guy takes a 3, it's going to look a little different. It's hard to inspire confidence for me in that way. But the physicality, how athletic he looked, that's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved what I saw from him tonight, and now I'm the athleticism. I'm more excited to see it once you pair it with Jokic now, because that's the thing about Aaron Gordon is I'm not worried about him creating shots for himself or his 3 or this or that. Like once Denver gets, Murray especially, but Murray, Barton, Porter, Gordon's points are a shoe-in, but the athleticism, they absolutely need that, and he looked like a guy that could be athletically dominant as we want him to be. Let's take our first break. On the other side, we're going to play Rate the Highlight. We're going to talk about Bol Bol. We're going to talk about Jeff Green, JaMychal Green. Who else do we have to get to tonight? Monte Morris, PJ Dozier. PJ Dozier probably should have been a first segment guy, but we'll get to him in the second segment.
That's all right. All the Nuggets are good again.
All the Nuggets are good again.
Hey, Nuggets basketball is back. So let's talk about that Nuggets beer from Breckenridge Brewery. I'm talking about Mile High City Copper Lager. You might see it in that sleek blue can. It's got the Nuggets logo right on there.
So sleek.
You can get that at the DNVR Bar, but you could also go to the Breck Beer Locator. Tell it where you live. Tell it that's what you're looking for. Believe it or not, it's going to tell you where to go. What a tool. How convenient is that? One of the best ways you can support us right now is by supporting our friends at Breckenridge Brewery. Remember that farmhouse is open, socially distanced, beautifully set up. For outside dining, if you're still more comfortable at home, you can order that curbside pickup from 12 to 8 p.m. You can also get beer delivered to you on the Drizzly app or head to the nearest grocery store. Remember, order delicious food and booze from the farmhouse if you're able. Call 303-803-1380 for from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. for pickup. Use code DNVR when you do. You'll save $5 with our friends at Breck Brew. We have more friends this year, though, guys. New friends, you might even say. I found myself back at that DNVR tailgate outside of Empower Field on Sunday. What a time. What a spot. What a location. You got all the Breck beer you need, but you also, once you've paid in, it's all you can eat sexy pizza at every Broncos tailgate. What is sexy pizza, you ask? Well, with 13 years in the Denver community, Sexy Pizza is as local as it gets. Hand-tossed deck oven pizza with made-from-scratch each morning dough. Choose your own adventure with their wide range of toppings or try one of their signature philanthro pies. That sounds like a mouthful, but it's about something pretty cool. A portion of every sale from these 5 specialty pies is donated to a range of different nonprofits right here in Colorado. What's a better way to support us than by supporting our partners who are, in turn, supporting the nonprofits of Colorado? Check out Sexy Pizza and make sure you stop by that tailgate on Sundays.
I love it, guys. Bones is spitting some fire in the post game. We're gonna have Harrison Wins, by the way, is right now speaking with Bones. He'll be joining us here in the third segment, and I have a feeling he might be knocking Will Barton off of the perch of best post-game quote. We might have a new reverend in town, competing reverend. I can't wait.
Dude, this kid's such an instant hit.
He is such an instant hit.
Everyone is rooting for him. All right.
Everyone on earth is rooting for Bones Hyland right now. It's actually really great. All right, I want to talk about PJ Dozier.
Yeah.
Let's get to some more nuggets here as we kind of evaluate him. Only 22 minutes from him tonight, but he gets 12. Listen to the stat line, guys. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks in 22 minutes. He did everything. This is the PJ Dozier that the Nuggets need. A guy that doesn't just he knocked down shots or he played some defense. A guy that just does a little bit of everything. That's when PJ Dozier is at his absolute best. I thought this was a very good performance from him tonight. He was a standout in the first half.
Yeah, Dozier is a utility guy that just brings everything to the team, and they need that type of guy. It's hard to actually game plan for a guy like that because you just never know what to expect from him, and I think that's what makes him a lot different than the other guys. He can score. And has the confidence to score. He can set guys up, big body, so he defends at a high level. He's a guy that the Nuggets are going to need as a playmaker, and it was great to see him just get in and play some minutes and then get out of there and not go through that injury bug that we already know comes with him. This is about getting him healthy, but also getting him that rep and those minutes. And it was good for Malone to talk about him before the game and just say how much he believes in him, because Dozier is a guy that they're really going to have to count on a lot of the nights, especially on that defensive end of the floor. So it's great to just see him play with that type of composure.
I feel like there's a lot of Malone guys on the roster right now. Bones
absolutely.
is a Malone guy. Dozier's a Malone guy. Facu's a Malone guy.
Yep. Even some of the guys that you might not think would be because of archetype, he seems to be taking a liking to. Bones. I'm not saying I would think he's an anti-Bones guy or whatever. I'm just saying the way he's taken onto him so quickly and really, literally putting his arm around him. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I wouldn't have guessed it. But you're right, man. There's a ton of Malone players.
How do you feel about Dozier tonight?
I thought he was excellent. I really did. He was my standout other than Porter. The shot looked really smooth, and you can get yourself in some trouble looking at preseason games, being like, oh, the shot's there this year. But it did look much smoother than it has in the past. Defensively, he can make some mistakes, but more often than not, if you're glued to him on that side of the ball, you're going to be impressed. And I thought tonight he had a pretty good understanding of when to call his own number, when to push that button, when not. Sometimes when PJ gets going, it can be a little bit of a runaway train. But I just thought, where's Eric, if you're watching? I thought he looked composed tonight, fellas.
Very composed.
Very composed.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I told you guys this a while back. I'm so high on PJ Dozier, as a player. I'm glad Michael Malone is as well. But I was surprised that people were a little more, tempered expectations with him. Because to me, he's a guy that is a breakout candidate. And I don't know if breakout's the right word because I don't know that the numbers will ever pop. But he's a guy that I wouldn't be surprised was in people's top 7, oh yeah, he's a clear shoo-in to be a playoff rotation guy.
Well, I think a lot of guys were really high on PJ, and then some folks like myself found value in pushing back a little. You don't want to put the cart in front of the horse,
back, man.
Or whatever.
Walking it back. This is what it is.
No, I'm not.
You hate PJ.
I'm standing by it that I'm a let's wait and see.
All
but
right.
I'm waiting to see what I saw tonight.
Are you waiting to see on Bones, or are we've seen enough?
I don't. There's no waiting enough for Bones.
What about Michael Porter? Have we seen enough?
I've seen it. I've seen enough since I saw him play 3-on-3 in Utah 4 years ago.
That's hilarious. But the thing with Dozier that makes it hard not to back up on him is because the things that you don't like about him, there's games that he doesn't show it. Like, he doesn't go and just jack every single shot tonight. So it's hard to be down on a guy when he's just playing within the offense and then it comes to him and he shoots. When he gets to just taking like unnecessary shots or he's taking shots not in the flow of the offense, that's when he stands out. But when he's not standing out and he's just doing everything else, it becomes easy. So this was a game that there wasn't a lot of pressure on him. He played within the flow, and that's what you like to see. Then also the shots fail, so it makes it easy for him.
Yep, for sure. He knocked down a pair of threes. Yeah, if he could go 2 of 4, 2 of 5 from 3 every night, then yeah, he's like a phenomenal player. The other guy who I think deserves special mention tonight is Bol Bol. And because, look, I'm pretty critical of Bol and how he plays. And even tonight, there were some classic Bolisms where it's like a guy gets a wide open dunk at the rim or something, and you're like, yeah, it's clearly Bol's rotation or whatever. But I was actually very impressed with him tonight because I felt like he, for the most part, had great engagement, played with a lot of energy and intensity, and wasn't necessarily trying to. Sometimes he makes the highlight plays, and you're like, we like this, but then nothing else. Tonight, I felt like the highlight plays still were there. There were 2 or 3 of them. We'll get to them and rate the highlight. But more, it was just like it seemed like he was playing the role that he knows he needs to be, and that was so encouraging. 5 block shots tonight. Defensively, it felt like he was all over the court tonight, and he kind of is all over the court with how long he is. I just thought this was a very strong outing. We've had better highlight games from Bol,
yes,
but this was more in line with the type of game that is going to earn Bol minutes. And last thing I'll say, and I'll throw it to you, Dev, I think it's noteworthy that he got into this game tonight before Zeke Naji, before Vlatko Chantra. I'm not saying he's ahead of those guys in the depth chart, but at least tonight he got a lot of run earlier than those guys.
I truly do think that the Nuggets organization they want to believe in Bol. And I think that's why it was my biggest standout. I think he was amazing tonight.
He was your biggest standout.
I really do, because if you just look back at when he played in the past,
he was really good.
He had turnovers. So there was the 2 travels, which he feels. I feel like he does. There's not a game until he travels. Like if he's in there, he's gonna travel. He also had like 2 offensive charges, but he didn't get down on himself.
Right.
And that was like the big thing for me, because he usually is moping. He's not playing defense.
Right.
The energy is down. He's just out there. And tonight he wasn't just out there. I feel like he was a part of the team for the first time. He's blocking shots. They're making sure they give him the ball on offense. He's breaking away from the offense and trying to make things happen. He's getting to the free throw line because I feel like he gets fouled every single time that he tries to score. There was highlight plays.
He does get fouled a lot, man.
There was highlight plays on both sides of the court, and also he's just so long that guys are missing layups at the rim just because he can't alter them. There was a few times it looked like he was goaltending on blocks. Like the other team was like, what is this? And those are the type of plays that you want him to happen. So he was like one of my biggest standouts because he was a different Bol Bol, and they challenged him. For Michael Porter Jr. to be a guy that's like practically the same age, and to challenge him and to kind of call him out, end up off season, these are the things he needs to do to get better, or how he's going to get playing time, and then everyone else to back that, and he doesn't go against them. He embraces it. That was big for Bol Bol, and I think that's where the change comes from him. So to see him come out into the preseason, play over guys, that means that he really has bought in lately, because talent wise he's better than those guys. He really is.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like, Bol was active in Summer League when the ball was coming his way. He was active in filling up the points per game column. Tonight felt a little more like if a little Malone was in his ear out there, right? This isn't your showcase to go get all these shots up, but can you showcase an eagerness, a desire on defense? There are still plenty of things to put, he's the first ever, there's 3-and-D guys, catch and shoot guys. How about catch and travel center size power forwards?
Yeah.
He's still got to work on that a little bit. The rebounding is not great for his size. And it's look, defensively you can get about in space. All it takes is one well-timed cross at times. But all the same, his commitment to playing hard tonight all the way through was pretty encouraging. I thought Bol, it's a contained thing, but I thought Bol did his job tonight.
Yeah. He had his hands, he had one a block shot off the backboard where he grabs it out of midair. So ball ricochets off the backboard and he grabs it to stop it and then dunks it. And it was just man, this guy's so talented. Guys that tall usually can't catch underhand tosses, like fumble it, and he catches the craziest one-handed. It's impressive.
He also did the silliest thing of the night. That was my favorite thing of the night. He tried to dunk that outlet pass off the bounce, which is awesome.
He also let a free throw. The guy just got the rebound, and he usually gives up on that, and they go and score, and then he has to go to the bench, but. They go get the rebound. He sets him up okay, go up. I dare you to go up. And then goes and blocks it off the backboard. That's the difference from Bol Bol last year until right now. He's okay, I made a mistake. Let's make up for it instead of oh man, we already know what's about to happen now.
Right. Yeah, I was impressed with Bol Bol. Is there anybody else that impressed you tonight that maybe I didn't bring up?
The pass, first off the connection from
Great
Facu and Bones. That's a real connection, which is I think that's critical because if you are going to be playing, I feel like Bones is going to play alongside
someone.
Facu.
You think it's Facu?
Well, I do think it'll be somebody that just has to generate the offense and make sure it goes through him because he's not going to be able to bring it up and take a lot of the shots. I think they're going to need him to score. So it just kind of makes sense for it to be Facu because he's a guy that he doesn't have to shoot every single time.
Right.
He can set everybody else up. So that for that connection to be there, no one else is making that pass. I really don't.
No one else
pass.
is trying that pass.
First off, he had Zeke on the right. That is a straight zip pass that he could have took.
Not fun.
Yeah, but
he
not
goes
cool
and does it puts English
Bowling.
on the pass.
It's
He
a
goes
bowl.
and catches it, and then Bones is just such a creative finisher that he's okay, that was a wild pass. I got to go finish. I know he's going to talk about it. He has to talk about it after. But that's just a play that I think is just incredible. Facu's not making his shots right now, but he's still being involved and trying to make those type of plays. And I think that connection is fun.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it does stand out 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. So once again, not just the shots not going down, but also the shot profile. But you know what? It's Facu. I mean, that stuff will matter in the regular season should you see those numbers. But tonight, I mean, whatever.
I was just going to point out that other pass and that connection is kind of the MPJ thing that Facu does. He goes, all right, you stay right there in the wing. Don't move. I'm going to go over here. And then he does the one-handed slinger across the perimeter. I love Facu, man. I don't know if anyone knew that.
Yeah, we knew it.
Oh.
Jermichael Green maybe stood out, you could say. I mean, he had the poster dunk. This guy's a better dunker than people realize, man. He had the poster dunk. And by the way, this will show up more in our preview series.
Wait, was that Jeff Green or Jermichael Green?
Jeff Green. That was Jeff Green with
You
the
said
poster.
Jermichael just now.
Yeah, Jeff Green.
That's
Jeff
going to be tough.
It's
Jeff
the
Green.
It's the
I don't
Jay
blame
Green.
you.
It throws
It's
you
tough.
off.
Just Jay
ESPN
Green.
is confused.
Jeff Green playing center, and that was in a pick and roll situation where he goes up and catches a body. What body was it? Do you remember? Was it Hartenstein?
It was Hartenstein, yes.
Was it
Yes.
Hartenstein
Did
or
Aaron
old
Gordon
Fred?
get Hartenstein too on the alley-oop?
I think that one was for sure Hartenstein. I'm not sure about the other one. It'll show up here in just a second. But
Rock.
Jeff Green is a power dunker, guys. This is the thing. He's 34, and he still has that kind of bounce in him, man. It's
He did not look 34 on
He
that
does
shot.
not. 34 is old, for an
Basketball
NBA
years,
player,
yeah.
and he's still catching bodies, man. So maybe he stood out in a bad way. Monte Morris looked really rough tonight. We knew that he kind of had a summer where it doesn't sound like he is in maybe not as great a shape as he has been in the past, or a little banged up over the summer, so he's getting healthy. Off to a slow start, 0 of 5 shooting tonight, and I just thought he looked a little rough. Didn't look too great.
And one thing to think about with him and PJ is they haven't played 5-on-5 basketball in a very long time. So that was them trying to shake the rust off too. When you take a long time off and then you have to just step into a setting where you're going against other NBA guys that have worked on their game all summer, that's kind of rough, especially with the speed of the game and things like that. So I'm not going to knock it entirely. He also ran the offense. He got, others involved because he knew the shot wasn't falling and he couldn't get anything to going. So I think you just kind of have to shake that off.
I don't really have any notes on Austin Rivers. I'm looking at the box score here, and he was a plus 11, which is the second best on the team for whatever that is worth. He played 18 minutes, but I didn't think that anything really stood out, good or bad.
Just glad he's not hurt. That's my big Austin
that
Rivers
stood out.
takeaway.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. He took a really nasty spill in that second quarter, I believe, and he thought for sure it looked like a non-contact torn Achilles, and it turned out to be nothing.
I think too, Austin Rivers, you're gonna get these nights, right? We've talked about the fun side of it and the big quarters and how he can be an explosive sort of end of bench piece, also still an end of bench piece. So there will be these quiet nights as well, and that's okay. so long as he's defending and doing his job.
Should we take our last break? On the other side, we'll talk to Wind, and we'll do Rate the Highlight.
I thought it got kind of breezy.
It did get kind of breezy in here. He just walked back in, so let's hit a break here. That means you get to do the ad reads before he gets in. That's so sick, man.
Dude.
And then we're going to have our wind chimes.
So have you guys heard that Bol's been practicing diversity and inclusion for years while other major companies just talked about it as workplace idealism? This is where you guys say, what do you mean? And
what do you mean by
their
that?
culture of belonging has been noticed by the Human Rights Campaign. They have a corporate equality index score of 100%, so objectively, your background, whatever that may be, will not prevent you from succeeding there. Well, that's crazy, Brendan. So are you saying that just your hard work and commitment is
You're
all
doing such a good job here.
Yes, it's inspiring, isn't it? You're free to be your authentic self. Once you work at Bol, there are lots of groups to join to represent your unique background. If you want to meet people, reach new career heights, get support. Bol supports groups like the Society of Women Engineers, as an example, and many others. Hang on, Brendan. So you're telling me that you can lead in your own space and become unstoppable? Yes. Right now, they're looking for people who have technical and mechanical skills to help them manufacture aluminum cans and bottles, which they've been doing for a long time. And by the way, I don't know if you've heard, they actually do that right here in Colorado at their aluminum can manufacturer plant in Golden. Right now, you can text Golden to 77222 and you'll get linked to open positions. You can also go directly to jobs.bol.com and search for Golden. That's jobs.bol.com and search for Golden, or simply text Golden to 77222. Fall is here, the pumpkins are out, and Manscaped wants you to shave your balls. You can use the Lawnmower 4.0. I got that for free in my Performance Package 4.0. Comes with a lot of great stuff. But I just want to recommend the tools that Manscaped gives you to get the men's grooming job done the right way. I think sometimes we put that off as men because we don't have the right tools for it. Once you get hooked up with Manscaped, that's no problem. Join the 20 million men worldwide, or the 2 million men worldwide, that have changed their lives by going to manscaped.com. And you can do that right now and use code DNVR to get 20% off plus free shipping. When you do, manscaped.com, stop shaving your balls with old rusty razors. That's their slogan, right?
He's so good.
Green Mountain Dental Group is one of our longest standing partners. They're the best damn family-owned dentist in the metro. And right now, you should know this by now, if you are fans of the show, when you schedule an x-ray cleaning or exam, you walk out the door with a free Sonicare toothbrush. Google that right now. It should not be free. That's an insane deal. They're going to clean your teeth. They're going to give you a tool that helps you take care of your teeth so that you don't have to go back to the dentist too often. But when you do, you can trust that you're in the safe hands and the hands of experienced dentists and also extreme Colorado sports fans, just like you, just like me, just like all of us here at DNVR. Check out our friends at Green Mountain Dental Group.
Alrighty, we're back. Final segment here. This was a hypecast, Harrison. I don't know if you could hear us screaming and hooting and hollering here. It was a hypecast.
The whole game was a hypecast.
The whole game was a hypecast. It was pretty exciting. Bol and Bones joining the core would be fun. I'm here for that.
I mean, we need to update the graphic on the most optimistic timeline.
The brightest timeline.
The brightest timeline.
It's been so long you forgot you called it the most optimistic timeline.
The last version was with RJ Hampton, I think.
That is true. It was, but I feel like at Bones, I'm even more brighter.
It's freaking bright right now.
It's very bright. Take us inside the locker room. So was it? Was the vibe pretty hyped? Was it pretty immaculate in the locker
Mike
room?
Malone was pissed. I mean,
was he really? I love it.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's forget the hypecast. What is? What's Coach upset
Malone
about?
threw some praise around, but he was pissed about some things, like how they finished the game, the ball movement. He said only 20 assists. They usually average around 26 assists per game. A lot of standing around, he said. So those are the things that pissed him off. But I mean, he did have some great stuff to talk about. Bones Hyland, he said he thought he had a really good night, obviously. He was one of our better players in camp. He said he can get to places on the court that a lot of guys can't. And for a young man coming out of college, Malone said Bones is ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And Bones is young. He's young. He spent 2 years in college, but I still think he even feels young for spending 2 years in college. So Malone saying he's ahead of the curve is pretty cool. For Bol, Malone said, I think the big thing for Bol is that most of his minutes that he played tonight, he played hard and he competed. He had 5 blocks. Malone said he thought he could have had a couple more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Malone also talked about...
He said that... what was the way he said that? Like, should have had a few more? Or he played so well he could have even got more how well he was playing?
I was thinking about that. I don't know. I was asking that same
context is
question to
Coach,
myself.
follow-up question. When you say that, which one do you mean?
No, I think he was happy with how Bol played tonight. I really do. He was happy with the effort most of all.
In the first segment, Brendan had some really good points, and he could have had more.
If he had just stayed focused.
What should I think of that tone?
Yeah, try to figure it out. Nobody knows.
Mike Malone on Aaron Gordon. When Aaron rebounds the ball, our guard shouldn't be coming back looking for an outlet. So they want Aaron Gordon taking the ball up the floor, making stuff happen. Zubats was on him earlier in the game, so they tried to get Gordon out on the perimeter, have him take advantage of that mismatch, and like that's what we saw. We saw Gordon attacking, really going hard off the bounce, which was fun to see. And then on Monte, he thinks Monte's going to bounce back. I didn't even know, but 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio tonight for Monte, so really? Good there. But
classic
0 of 5 from the field.
Even in his bad games, he's just a 6-1.
He doesn't turn it over ever.
Yeah, so that was Malone.
Okay. Alrighty. Tell me, can we just go to Bones? I mean, the people are waiting.
Sure. I mean,
sure.
The people are waiting.
It's pretty late. They want one thing.
Dude, if anyone has the confidence of Bones that he has in himself, like you're going to be probably successful in life. I feel like that. Bones Island goes, once I get in that bag, I feel like nobody can stop me. My ceiling is so high.
I love that he said my ceiling
My
is
ceiling
so high.
That's never been said.
It's just
I know
so
that
high.
sentence is never my ceiling is.
God, he's so
No one
like
talks like
cocky, but in a disarming way. It's like
it's just an honor to
disarmingly
be
cocky.
compared to Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So he ditched the headband. I think it was after halftime he ditched the headband. And he said the reason he wore the headband is because he didn't like how his hair looked. But then he ditched it, started playing really well.
What?
So I doubt we're going to see the headband return. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. What do you guys like?
Do you ever wear a
guys like the
headband, Dev?
I did wear a headband for a little bit, but it wasn't like a headband for like sweat anything. I didn't even know what that was for.
I don't know if it works.
I had like a large curl in high school, so it was like to push my hair back.
Bro, I need a picture.
Wait,
of that.
what?
Yeah.
We got to get pictures
I had
of this,
like a
Dev.
large,
Hang
like
on.
a big
You
curl,
should not have revealed
like
that
a
just
Jerry
now.
curl. And
If
it was
you're
like I
Facebook friends
pushed
with
it
Dev,
back.
You have
Send us
photos.
some
You got
photos.
photos then.
Yeah, MySpace days. You could
MySpace. I got to find his old MySpace.
I'm gonna Google this.
You guys would have not made my top 8. Nobody.
Nobody ever makes the top 8. Damn it. Would D-Line have been the top 8?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is so
Absolutely.
frustrating. God.
Unbelievable. Just because you guys
D-line.
whisper together on the couch.
Alrighty.
This was great from Bones. He was talking about his comfort level and just playing with more talent and spacing right now than he did in college, obviously. And he said he's extremely comfortable. He's beyond comfortable. He said he always felt like he had a league
Eric's
game
hyped in the chat.
since he was younger. A league game. I've never heard that before.
A what?
A league game. Like an NBA game.
In the NBA game. You know what? There's something to be said for this.
Totally.
And this is the thing. And Harrison, you were the guy that was high on Bones at the draft, and this was your guy. You were clamoring also for Bones, and I think this was part of it. The idea of being at VCU, a smaller
Right.
school, and playing with a bunch of guys who aren't NBA caliber guys, aren't really top level guys. So you have a crowded court. Then going to an NBA where it's like you have a wide open court. You got Michael Porter stretching the court for you. All of a sudden now the paint's wide open, and that's the thing with him tonight is he really is good at getting into the paint. Like he's just good at getting to that spot. He dances, and he's got a good step back, so you have to play him up. And if you play up too far, he just gets right around you.
And some of his finishes at the rim tonight.
Great
I
finisher.
mean,
And
That lefty might make an appearance here coming up as
There's
well.
far
We'll
more
find
of that
out.
than the threes too. Which
yeah,
is
he
the
didn't even
first thing
shoot
you
it well.
talk about.
And
right?
he almost led the team in scoring off the bench. We got Porter and we got Bol also tonight, guys.
Alrighty.
Let's go to Bol. Bol was honestly like more open than I might have ever seen him. So I thought that was notable.
In what ways? I want to hear how so.
Well, just like he had the longest quotes tonight that he's probably ever had.
Okay.
Bol's a very just gets to the point.
Okay.
In his answers a lot, doesn't waste a lot of time. He was kind of reflective tonight because Malone was talking about how the biggest thing with him is effort and playing hard, and Bol was pretty candid and was just like, yeah, in the past I haven't done that, but I'm really making an effort to do that now, and guys are getting in my ear and telling me if I play hard on defense, I can do what I want on offense. And he said He's seeing progress with all the work he's put in these last 2 years. He said, I love basketball, so it's just really fun for me to be out there. He also said he's trying to just be more positive.
That's great to hear.
Be more positive.
That's number one on the list.
Down on himself.
Yeah.
He sees Bones as positive energy, and he's like, "Wow, I got
all right, get in on this.
I gotta get in on this, man."
Malone's never hugged me.
Oh my god! Yeah.
That hug.
Be more positive.
If you don't know, Nuggets Twitter posted out a picture of two different frames of a shirtless Bones and a shirted Michael Malone hug, and it was like a thing of beauty. It was gorgeous.
Iconic.
It was iconic, really.
Bol also said he's asking more questions now. He just, like I said, he was really candid. He was like, "That's something I wasn't doing in the past a lot." Now he's asking a lot of questions.
And look, a lot of people thought, like, you guys are Bol haters, right? Like, you were so negative on him. Didn't you see him do the turnaround? Like, part of it was, we see some of the defensive lapses that he's had in the past, but a lot of it is also just from talking to different people, getting a sense of what's going on, and that was exactly it. Just disengaged. Doesn't seem like, hey, he wants to put in the requisite work. So when you say that he's asking questions, to me, that's like a big deal to me. I'm like, okay, that's full engagement from him.
It's a lot of progress from where he was.
No player's talented enough to just skate through in the modern NBA. Like, it takes hard work to get there, and I'm excited to see it. I thought he was very good tonight. I thought Bol Bol was very good tonight.
Well, something we talked about with Bones is he's always asking questions. I mean, that's something that Monte told me in training camp. He's always in my ear, always asking questions. Tonight, Bones, his seat on the bench was in between the Nuggets' two lead assistants.
Yeah.
It's Michael Malone's seat. Yeah. So maybe he's taking cues from Bones, like you said.
I love it. Okay.
Let's see what else from Bol. He said he was most proud of playing through his mistakes tonight, and Malone's telling him to be aggressive, take the first shot that he gets.
Still could be better at that. That's like one critique I could have him is he had a couple shots where he'd like hesitate and then either travel or do something that was like, hey, just put it up, man. Get it up.
It was good to hear Malone kind of talk about him positively tonight. Like, there's a lot of the tough love stuff, but now you're hearing Bulls responding to some of it, or at least seemingly so. Then you want to see that rewarded, right? And you want him to feel like, oh, when I do what they what's asked of me, everyone gets behind me, and that confidence can get rolling.
Malone's going to nail that.
I do.
I mean, you're right. It was great, but like, if there's one thing I'm like, Malone's going to nail it. That's
what he does.
The carrot and stick routine.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it.
Michael Porter.
Let's get to it.
Michael Porter on Aaron Gordon and just the chemistry between those two. He said they're pretty close off the court, and he thinks that carries over onto the court. And they've also just been playing together on the same team throughout all of camp, so he thinks that chemistry is definitely building. He was just asked about his offense and the points he scored tonight and how he felt about it. And he goes, tonight was pretty easy, a lot of open shots.
This guy rules.
Yeah. He had this great quote about Bones Hyland. He said, Bones is sick. We were all like, that dude can really, really, really play. He's one of the quickest guys I've ever seen. He carries himself like he's been here before. He doesn't care who he's up against. And he kind of compared that to how he was when he came to the league.
Of course he did.
Of course, right? He just had the utmost confidence and didn't care who he was playing against.
Gosh, I can't believe we drafted a super team. This is incredible.
I can't believe Tim Connolly drafted
Tim hit me up. He's like, hey, what do you think of Bosch? I said, you know what? You got to take him. If he's available, you got to go. He's got to go Bones.
I remember that.
Do you remember
What do
that
you think
one?
we're talking about when we hang out with Tim? He's asking us
like,
what to do.
Definitely don't take Jaden Springer, Tim. Just don't take him.
Yeah, we were big on that.
I can't believe every year the dumbest.
Tune into our draft coverage next year.
Oh, let's see what else from Mike.
You had a connecting the dots quote that you
Yes.
tweeted out.
He talked about Bol, and Mike's message, he says to Bol, has been if you block shots and play defense, you'll get a chance to play your game on offense. And he said Bol seems like he's really starting to connect the dots and just, I think everything, like what the Nuggets are trying to do on the floor, but also the off the court stuff we talked about, and just kind of the intangibles, not getting down on himself, playing hard, showing some resiliency. But yeah, connecting the dots. A standout quote.
I love it.
I think for sure.
Connecting the dots.
I got to say, we're going to hear some of these same lines and terms with Bol all year long. Just like buckle up for playing through mistakes and resiliency. I'm not saying that he's not going to get better at it. I'm just saying.
Do you think it was meaningful that he played ahead of Zeke and Vlatko today?
Like meaningful as in, do I think that's going to carry over to the regular season?
I'm just saying, is that a depth chart, a peek into the depth chart?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no.
Agreed with one.
gonna say
Not that
no.
you asked me.
I think it was meaningful. There's no way. First off, he's not behind those guys, so it just makes it like tough to like put like for him to actually jump over them right now. Like it's like, hey, we're gonna reward you for your hard work. Let's keep this up and the momentum going.
It's so funny because Vlatko is solid. Zeke could be solid someday. Like that's like the thing with him. And then Bol is like probably never going to be solid. But
Yeah.
he's freaking awesome when he's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
The other thing from Mike, he was talking about like how he wants to be smarter on offense this season, and kind of play differently on offense based on who's guarding him. Like we've talked about this mid post thing with Mike a lot, how he's adding that to his game. And tonight in the post game, he was saying how when I've got a smaller guy on me, like I'm going to the mid post way more than I have in the past. Like I'm using my height, I'm using my frame to try to get easy looks that way. We saw a little of that tonight in that mid post area.
I like how Porter just states this stuff because the end game is to shoot over the top anyway. It doesn't really matter if he thinks you know what he's going to do. Put himself in a position to shoot right over you.
Yeah.
That's all I got, guys.
Oh, that was some good stuff, man. This was an A-plus first preseason game. Let's close it out by doing a little rate the highlight. There were some highlights tonight, guys. Let's rate the highlights together. By the way, play along with us in the chat there. I want to see what your rates are, what your ratings are. You go ahead and do this. I'll just critique your guys' ratings. I'll just critique you guys.
This might be worse.
That sounds right. That sounds about right.
That sounds right.
I just remembered how this show works.
Yeah. All right, let's get the first one. What do we have here, Kale? The computer's getting weird.
Oh, someone's in excuse mode.
Let's berate Kale.
Kale's going to kill me one day.
I'm just going to preemptively rate that Faku pass.
All right, here we go. All right, what do we have here? A little Bones Highland. Okay.
Opportunity here for the Denver Nuggets. Clippers will have the ball to start the fourth
Oh,
quarter.
already got you. Up, and a little lefty jelly, and a flex game. Look at this.
That was one of a couple he had with the left.
Oh, and then this one. I guess this is a multi-highlight reel. I love it, man. All right, let's rate both of these finishes. These are tough finishes, fellas. These are tough finishes.
Go 9.
6? Whoa, Dev, help,
That first
9.
one, that
Is that
first
upside
one is
down? Did
for
you grab the
sure.
wrong one?
No.
He got him in the air with the pump fake. Like, he had a guy jump at a shot.
How impressed am I by the rookie doing it? 9.
Look at him trying to make up for this.
How do I rate the highlights we just played? 6.
That was a great highlight. That's a rookie.
He threw up a one-handed.
Bones
Oh,
weighs
a
like
little
100
lefty?
pounds, and he went through contact.
I
for
was
that and
impressed.
one.
Well, that play
I was
actually
impressed.
like pretty. He had the pump fake. That
It was
got the
all
guy.
good.
Then he like did the hezzy to slow down the defense, so to change of pace. Then he finishes it with the left hand and
Listen,
one.
guys, there's got to be room for growth. If that's a 9,
All right,
if that's a
don't walk
9.
it back.
Here's what we have to do. We have to get a basketball goal in the parking lot. We have to just buy one and move it there. And then whenever he does some bullshit like this, we're gonna go film him recreating the highlight here. Like, see what happens. All right, a 6. All right, so what do we have coming up next?
There's that
we playing it?
Dozier kid.
Oh, there's a
Dozier. That's a highlight.
Uncle Jeff.
That's a
All right,
highlight,
It was not
boys.
Hartenstein's for the reference.
All
Is that
right.
Giles? Maybe the worst
Probably
defender in the
Giles.
entire NBA. But it doesn't matter. Uncle Jeff.
The
treated him.
left hand, too.
Is it Giles? Is it Giles?
I'm not
I
even
can't even
kidding.
tell.
I saw like 5 plays in training camp total in practice, like 5 plays.
Yeah.
One of them was
Hold
that
it up.
exact play. A Jeff Green dunk down the middle of the lane.
That's awesome.
I saw that play.
So is that why it's only a 9 to you?
Yeah, I've seen it before. I saw it live.
That's awesome.
Well, it's a 10. The Nuggets don't have guys that can do things like that. We
Right.
have not seen plays like that. It was insane.
Hey, so actually think about this. We talked about putting athletes around Jokic. It's weird that Jeff Green, but he is. I mean, he's a good athlete. So you got Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Jermichael Green, who's also, he's not like a great athlete, but he can get up. That's a pretty good athletic core now all of a sudden around him. I think about it. You've had like Gallo and, you've had some not so athletic guys in the past. Gallo's a good player, but not a hyper athlete. So
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. All right, what else we got? All right, this one comes from Katie Wengie. Okay, Bol. All right, out on the break. Sure, little behind the back. Oh, little cross. Let's get it,
Dude, what is Bol? What is Bol?
Is that Kennard again?
Oh yeah,
Everybody just picking on
always
Luke
Kennard.
Kennard.
That is a hilarious.
Oh my gosh, look at this thing again. The swoop. Oh, that's a hell of a move. And then a little swoop. That's a tough finish too, man. That's not an
I'll
easy
go
finish.
10. Why not?
Deb the hater. What are we doing here?
That's more
What are we
ludicrous
doing?
than mine was.
Look at you hated on one, he hated on one, now Deb's hating on one.
I mean, that's like a little league play, like where the guy just goes like on his own thing and he just finishes it. Like I know the other team smacked their lips when it went in because they're like, how the hell did that go in? I mean, it's impressive to see a guy.
I mean, it was
that
a
big
layup.
be able to do it, but it's a wild layup. Like
It was a right-handed layup.
He's leaning away, he throws it up. Yeah, also, you said it. It's basic. It's a layup. It's a layup. So
But
you shouldn't give a
everything
layup
that
a 10.
went into that.
Actually, you made my point. It's a layup.
Ridiculous. I can't believe it.
Wow,
Erroneous.
what a journey with Dev there.
What a real journey. All right, what do we have? We have another one. I think we got one more.
Oh, God.
One more. We know which one this one is. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see where are we going with this. Right side. Nope, we're going around. Oh,
I'm
and then
excited.
let's finish the little reverse.
I am excited.
Oh my gosh, let's see this angle.
Oh my
Hell
God.
yeah. Double bouncer. Oh my goodness. We're giving this one 10.
710.
710. This one was elite.
Who tries that?
Faku.
Faku.
Over and over again. You guys know Wob has the threat of
Yeah.
him throwing these ridiculous bounce passes. So
That pass it's insane. Really, you don't try those type of things. Also, do you practice those type of things?
Yeah.
Faku does.
How does other guys know he's gonna make
That's a great
try
point.
that pass? And then also that's in a real game. Like there's no way your mind should just be in the middle of the play, say, hey, I'm gonna throw it and then I'm gonna just put spin on it and this guy's gonna be there and the other guy's not gonna be quick enough to get to this pass. It's insane.
I'm calling myself out, too. Next time you ask me which Nugget I'm excited to watch and I leave Faku off the list, just throw something at me.
throw something at
Yeah.
you, man.
Oh, with 5 from the field.
Guys, this was an incredible first game of the preseason. We got 4 more preseason, 82 more regular season.
Let's
We're
go.
just getting started. I've got the energy. I'm refreshed. I'm feeling it.
1 down, 86 to go.
Then that's before playoffs when it really begins, the real season. So this was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much. 400 plus diehards in the live chat at midnight, after midnight right now.
I miss
on
this.
a Monday. I miss it too. So you guys are the real ones. Hit that like button before you take off, guys. And yeah, we got another game Wednesday again coming down to the DNVR Bar. We'll see everybody then. Adios.